Hi, I hope all is well with you and that you're staying safe. This week in Eretz Yisrael, we added the tefillah of V'sein Talumoto in the bracha of Borech Aleinu in Shemona Esrei. In the United States, that tefillah is not added until December 4th or December 5th. The reason why we add it so early is because, as most of you know, it doesn't rain in Eretz Yisrael from Pesach until Sukkot. So we are in dire need of rain. And we should have actually begun saying Talumatar when we started saying Mashiv Amor Gashem on Shmini Atzeres this past Sukkot. The reason why we waited, as the Mishnah describes in Masechet Tanis, is because we wanted to give those individuals who are Ola Regel, who were at the Beis HaMikdash for Sukkot, we wanted to give them enough time to get home. And the Mishnah points out that it took 2 weeks until the farthest destination would be reached. So we waited 2 weeks. If you think about it, Eretz Yisrael is in dire need of rain. Yet, because of a major act of Ben Adam Chavero, of thinking about those individuals who would be on the road going home from the Beis HaMikdash from Yerushalayim, if they would be caught in the rain, especially in those days when the roads were just muddy, it would have been a very, very difficult journey back home. So even though we needed rain, we were willing to sacrifice that need for the benefit of other individuals. A classical example of Ben Adam L'Chavero. And when we think of Ben Adam L'Chavero, perhaps the paragon, the individual that outdid everyone in history, perhaps, in terms of Ben Adam L'Chavero, was Rochel Imeinu, whose yard site is this coming Motzei Shabbos. And we all know the story of Rochel Imeinu and how she gave away the simanim to her sister Leah. But perhaps we don't know the full story. But before I even get to that, I don't know if we spend enough time really thinking about her actions. Think about an individual who's waited for their bashert. When they finally met their bashert, and they count down the days until they're going to get married. And on the morning of their marriage, they're willing to sacrifice all their dreams, all their goals for their sister, for another individual, so that her sister would not be embarrassed. It's mind-boggling. And the part of the story that we don't know, well, not many of us know, is the fact that, as we all know, there are 2 sisters and 2 brothers. And Leah was destined supposedly to marry Esav, and Rochel was destined to marry Yaakov. And that's why Leah's eyes were dimmed, because she cried all the time, thinking that she was going to marry Esav. And when Rochel gave away the signs to Leah, and in fact gave them in such a way that Leah did not even realize that she was giving her the signs. The trade-off was she was giving the signs to Leah, and that meant that she would marry Esav. She would marry this Russia, and her children, likely, would follow their father, not their mother. Can we think of a greater self-sacrifice than Rochel Imeinu's sacrifice? It's mind-boggling. I don't think any of us can ever dream to come close to reaching the madrega that this, I don't know if it's a human being or a malach, attained. The question is, can we try to emulate her? Can we try to emulate Chazal, who taught us that although rain is necessary, we have to think of others. In our lives, are we willing to sacrifice for other people, even or even in small measure? Those individuals are still living in dormitories. And when they come back to their room and they find a roommate sleeping, are they willing to, quote unquote, sacrifice and not turn the light on? But to make sure that they are speaking low, or if they want to speak on their cell phone, to go outside of the room as not to disturb their roommate. There's so many opportunities that we have, that we're challenged, that we have the nisayon to see whether we really appreciate the mitzvah of ben adam l'chavero. Are we willing to sacrifice, not big things, although perhaps in our minds they are big, but even small things, to sacrifice, to do without, to be able to give up something that we would like for somebody else. Perhaps, as my wife always says, the way to achieve and overcome this nisayon is to think that I should be doing what is right, not as what is easy. And think, what would the Ribbono Shel Olam want me to be doing now? It takes a conscious effort, but if we can take it from the back of our cranium and put it into the front of our minds, to always realize that the Ribbono Shel Olam is giving us nisyonos all the time. And if we remember that, and remember, this is just the test. This is what he's looking for. This is how we are showing what we stand for, what we're made of, the type of midos that we have. Doing what's right, not what's easy, and doing the things that the Ribbono Shel Olam would like us to do. If we can develop that, if we can build up that inner strength, then we'd have a right to daven to the Ribbono Shel Olam in the schus of Rochel Imeinu, that in her schus of that phenomenal sacrifice that's mind-boggling, that he should bring the geula shalema b'meher v'Imeinu in our day. Have a wonderful day and a Shabbat Shalom.